Hey everyone, gambling addict Michael here, and I'm back on my shit. I'm here to prophesize. I'm here to spit some knowledge on you. Knowledge. You're welcome in advance. This is how I personally got over breakups, right? So, there's two reactions you can have to being broken up with. If you're in, I've never been cheated on, technically. I've never been like beaten. All my exes are great people. They're not bad people. They're really nice and shit. They're good. They were good, right? So, obviously, if you've been cheated on, I'm not the person to go to. Nope, sorry. Sorry about that. I'm sure there's other videos on YouTube. But then again, you're trusting a guy in his fucking car at a Walmart parking lot. Actually, there's a Sam's back there. I think I'm technically in the Sam's parking lot. But anyway, so there's two reactions to getting over breakups. I believe this person right now is watching me talk to my phone because they could go, but instead they're just sitting there. So now I feel very awkward. But we're gonna keep going on the grind because that's just what professional YouTubers do. Please make me famous so I don't have to work my job. Just kidding, I don't care. Anyway, so this is how I get over breakups. Sorry for stalling, this is how I get over breakups. The first way, which was my first ever breakup, I would say is the wrong way, and that was being a petty little bitch about it. So, after the girl I dated at first, she broke up with me. I think it was the day before Valentine's Day. It was like right after I got home from school, which is rough, by the way, like damn. But anyway, so I remembered not doing anything, like for the rest of that day. And the next day I called out of work, called out of school, because I was like, damn, devastation. Now, I didn't know what this was at the time. I learned this later on, and I regret it because, well, it fucking sucks, and I feel bad for her, but I didn't know what it was, so I can't really, nothing mischievous here, but I love bombed her after we broke up. You know, like I was like, I don't even remember what I said. This was a while ago, but just know that I love bombed her, and I felt bad for it. But I didn't know what that was at the time, so I didn't know any better. But don't love bomb. That's step number one to getting over a breakup. Don't love bomb somebody. But anyway, so after I love bombed her, we got back together. We only dated for like a couple more weeks after that, and then we like broke up again. But we still kept talking and kept hanging out. But after like, it was in like April or May, I believe. It was like right before I graduated. That was it. That was, you know, no more. We stopped talking. That was over. Everything was done, right? So we graduated. And I think we went like 2 or 3 weeks without talking. I was actually doing really well. I don't know how to, like, I don't even remember what I did, but I think I just kept my mind off it and stuff, you know? I was hanging out with my friends, and then I went to my grandma's house. She has a little community pool, so I went to their little pool. Although I hate community pools a lot. I didn't swim in it, I just sat there. But anyway. So, there was one night I was down in the fucking trenches, dude. I mean like down, you know what I mean? Like I got so down to the point where I was writing like notes of what I wanted to text her in my note page. Oh boy, that's rough. When you get to that stage, that's rough. But one day when I got home, this is after I got home, I mean, from hanging out with my grandma. I remember I was in the shower, and when I got out of the shower, I looked at my phone, I saw that she had texted me, basically being like, hey, I didn't want to end things on like a rough term. I think I had texted her last, it was some like long apology or something. And we talked for a little bit. Now she did the mature thing and just move on. Because that's I guess to summarize, I'm sorry if I wasted 4.5 minutes, but to summarize, just fucking move on. That's the easiest way to to get over relationships. Just move on. But I gotta set the scene. I love talking, you know what I'm saying? So she did the right thing. She moved on, but I wish she would have told me that there was no interest there, because we kept talking until like October, maybe November, and then that's when she was like, hey, I'm not into you, dog. I'm sorry, man. Like I feel like I'm getting that vibe from you. So that's when we officially called it quits. We haven't talked in like a year, I think. I think last time I talked to her maybe was when she said Happy New Year's to me. But anyway, so that's the wrong way. I was a petty little bitch. You know, I would post sly shit on my Instagram story. Luckily not to a ton of people, though. There's a dude, he's like a chill guy, I guess, but man, does he fucking cry and complain about his ex that broke up with him 2 years ago. All the time. I mean, dude's reposting shit on his TikTok, his fucking Snapchat, his Instagram. And he's posting pictures of, like, players after they lose the Super Bowl. Like Jalen Hurts with the towel over his head. Being like me after I fumbled the perfect baddie. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking high school. See, that was another thing that kind of got me over that. Was that it was an 8-month-long high school relationship, right? It's not the end of the world. Look, she was the first girl I ever dated, and I'm actually very glad she was, like, the first person I ever dated, because it could have been worse. I've heard war stories about some people's first ever boyfriend or girlfriend, so mine was, like, she was solid, you know? Sorry. But anyway, so once you learn that, like, you can't really fumble the perfect girl when you're in high school, like, it makes it a lot easier. You can fumble a bad bitch, like, after high school. Trust me. Don't worry. You can fumble a bad bitch, right? But, goddamn. But anyway, so he posts this all... He even dedicated an Instagram post to it. He posted, like, some pictures of sunsets, and when you see your dog, when your boy posting sunset pictures, you know what's going on. But he's like, I lost a good one. We'll be back. Like, I felt bad, but I'm like, dude... Stop fucking posting about it, man. Like, you know, on TikTok, you can see when people look at your profile. So he would catch her looking at his profile every once in a while. Now, maybe I'm an asshole, but I like to think that it's probably just because she was laughing at him for posting all this cringe on Maine. But what do I know? But anyway, so I was a petty little bitch. I would post stuff on my close friends on Instagram. Some of them were bangers, but most of them were cringe. And I think that's the biggest lesson here to not be petty is... Because, like, I look back and I go, ooh, why did I do that? She's like, she didn't deserve that, right? So it just makes me embarrassed. Like, oh, boy. The worst part was I still had one of her friends' Instagrams, and she was still in my close friends. So I was like, oh, fuck. So I removed her because I was like, oh, shit. So what finally got me over my down bad spell, right? I met somebody else. The first girl I dated in college. Literally, our last time I talked to her was like New Year's. 3 weeks later, I met this girl at college and we started dating. Great person too. She was great. Now, I will say, if I had to pick any of my exes to be the perfect baddie or whatever, it'd probably be her. But, you know. So, we dated for a pretty short time, I guess, from like maybe late January to early May. And we broke up just because, you know, we had different plans and shit. And that was that. Last time I talked to her was when she said happy birthday to me a couple months ago. So her birthday's in 1 week exactly. It's the 15th when I'm recording this. 1 week exactly. Should I tell her happy birthday? Shit, I don't know. No, I'm just playing. I will. But just to speed this up a little bit, because I don't want to yap for 50 minutes. But basically, when we broke up, I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna be like this little bitch anymore. Because she definitely doesn't deserve... Look, my first girlfriend didn't deserve being petty, or for me being petty to her and shit. This next girl absolutely does not. She was like the sweetest fucking person ever, right? The sweetest person ever. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna fucking mope around all day. So I hung out with some of my friends. And then like a couple weeks later, I was at work, and this absolute fine woman follows me on Instagram. So I'm like, ooh. So, God, my ears hurt. But, I noticed that my sister followed her. So when I got home that day, I was like, yo, who this? Who is this? My sister was like, oh, it's one of my friends. She's into you. And I was like, let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go. So that's the moral of the story is you just kind of have to find somebody else to obsess over. And once you do that, it really helps. So yeah, don't be a petty little bitch. Just find someone else to obsess over.